Hi guys! So today I'll be doing this video about how I learned to have the courage to be disliked. I feel like most of us here, we think that it is so important to be liked by people, to become someone who everyone wants to talk to, who everyone aspires to be. And we want to be a role model for people. In this process, we often care too much about how other people think that we simply do not have the courage to be disliked. And there's also a book about this topic, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but I'm gonna share with you guys my version of what it takes to have the courage to be disliked. So first things first, I feel like it is very important to recognize that we are all born to be different versions of humans. A lot of people often say that there's bad people and good people. It is very, very important to keep an open mind, that we don't define anything as it is, because I always believe that there is another perspective to things, or there is another way of looking at this person, and I don't believe that anything can be entirely good or bad, including us ourselves. I think that we all have our bright sides and our dark sides. I have times where I don't act according to what people think is good as well. I have times where I don't even think that I'm a good person too. So I think that it is the same for everyone in this world, but a lot of us, we have such an emphasis that we have to be liked or we have to be good in order to be accepted by people. So this is a journey and a phase that I have went through the entire life of mine, because I was such a people pleaser. I would often do things to make people like me, or I would just often have a lot of expectations towards how people think of me. And it has really brought me so much unhappiness and misery in the process when I kept putting an emphasis on how I wanted to look like in front of people. So I've learned throughout these years that if you just accept the fact that it is okay to have good and bad in this world, and it is okay to be disliked, and it is okay that you are not perfect, and I feel like it is the bad days that make the good days count, and it is the unhappiness that makes the happiness count. If we didn't know what it was like to feel disappointment, resentment, sadness, and even anger, I don't feel like we even know how to be happy anyway. I feel like having the courage to be disliked really means that you just accept the fact that it is going to be an imperfect life full of flaws, and I'm such a perfectionist by nature, and even until today it still triggers me when things don't turn out the way that I wanted it to. But I often keep this reminder close to me that this is a whole process, and I have to keep learning to accept that this whole life is not going to turn out the way that I entirely want it to be. We're going to experience life according to our beliefs, and we're going to have amazing things and miracles happen to us, but we must also accept that in this process there is also going to be days where it's just not so nice. I spent so many years and moments of my life thinking that I had to be a certain way, or things have to go this certain way, or people have to react to me this certain way in order for me to be happy, in order for me to love life. But I accept the truth now that everyone is their own unique individual, and no one is going to be who you want them to be. So let's stop putting so much expectations on ourselves and on people, and just try to embrace all there is to it. At the end of the day, we are living for ourselves, and the person you think that is gonna matter to you so much may not even matter to you anymore one day. I'm just gonna be real. And yes, there's gonna be people that you will love for life, and there's gonna be people you wanna keep for life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be liked by people in order for your life to be enjoyable, or in order for your life to be fulfilling. Sometimes I also believe that in relationships we have to have conflicts, and we have to disagree on things in order for the relationship to be genuine, authentic, and strong. And that is how I learned from this relationship of mine. I used to be that girl who wanted perfection in all of my relationships in the past. That's why it never worked out for me, because I could never accept the imperfections of my other half. But ever since I got together with my current boyfriend a year back, and I started to realize this truth, this reality, that he's not gonna be my Prince Charming that my mind tells me that he needs to be, and he's just this beautiful human being who's just like me, who's not gonna have a perfect life full of happy endings. I started to love myself and love him and love the rest of the world for what they are. And I'm not saying that I managed to do that all the time. There are still times that I struggle so much to love myself, during times where I don't perform the way that I want. But at least I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, that it is okay to be disliked, and sometimes I don't even like myself. So how do you expect others to like you all the time? I used to think that so many things matter so much, and I would live my life vicariously just to live up to all these definitions of what it's like to be successful, what it's like to be good enough, what it's like to be a good sister, a good daughter, a good girlfriend. And I just shoved them all away, and I just told myself, those don't matter anymore, because what I really want now is just to live an authentic life and to just keep track of who I really am and what I'm really here for. And I just trust the process so much that everything's just gonna come when it's the right time and when it's supposed to. And if it's not here yet, it just means that I need to work more on myself and I need to change my beliefs. I often believe that we are not at the life that we want to be at yet, due to just some limiting beliefs that we have in our system. Just enjoy this whole journey, because you're only gonna be here once. So if you're not gonna love it all, it's gonna be your own loss. I like to think of it that way nowadays. Even when things happen not according to my favor, I just like to remind myself that it is completely fine, and I'm still here, I'm still intact with my body, and I'm still so blessed to be breathing here, and I still have this one last chance to be a human being, to embrace all I have. So I'll just do it with grace and acceptance. There it is, guys. I just wanted to talk about this topic because I still struggle with this anyway, but I also like to remind all of you that it is okay to struggle with things and to be vulnerable in front of the world. And I'm sure that stories can impact a lot of people, and I'm often inspired by people when they share their life stories with me. So I love to do the same, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!